Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning for sure. Good morning, everybody in chat. What's up? We got Investable Collectibles, Darc Raven, whoop, James Willis, whoa. We got a handful of people today. Yes. So excited to see ya. You guys looking amazing. And yes, what was it? Investable Collectibles, how many different TCG products have you personally cracked? Me, I'm over 12. Well, cracked, probably just like 2, like different TCGs, but I've played several. Like, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! I played a little bit of Pokemon. I played a little bit of Marvel. I played different variations of like the side games that they come out with that come and go. You know, played them, tried learning them. And he said that because the topic of today is Magic the Gathering is the best TCG ever.
I cracked probably about maybe 3 packs of Magic cards this year so far. Maybe a little bit more.
Oh yeah. You haven't played it yet?
Now, as far as playing, none, unless you want to count Arena.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is extremely broken.
Yeah, that's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Why I quit. When I first started playing card games, the first game I got into was Yu-Gi-Oh. It was so fun until they changed all the mechanics where you can something like 5 creatures on the first turn. I'm like, what?
Right.
What is this?
Right. And Pokemon had a really weird feel to me when I was learning Pokemon. Like working with your hand, the bench, the battle tactics, it was different for me. Like, I've tried playing different games because I don't like to just be like, I don't like to have an opinion about something and not have a lot going on.
Never played Pokemon.
It's a fine game. It's definitely very niche. Just like Yu-Gi-Oh, just like Magic. Magic's a little less niche because I think Magic has one of the best bases for a card game that has the best simple rule sets to play the game. Not saying the game doesn't get complicated, because the game can get really complicated.
Yeah, but I had to agree there. They made the game too complicated.
Yep.
Yu-Gi-Oh! When they changed all that, where you bring in like 5 creatures in turn 1, that complicated the game to where it was pretty much unplayable for me. So I'm like, get it. And I just gave all my cards away.
Oh, hello with the pudding. All right.
I had like maybe about 1,000 or more Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I just gave them away.
Hello, Salmonella.
What's up?
Just throw you in there. You're like, I'm just gonna wait. All right.
Thought you was asleep there for a minute. The way it looked.
Oh, but I do want to go over here to carnageutopia.com to chill out, our channel sponsor. I don't always get to go to this website to look at things, but there are some really cool things here. Like, look at these dice bags. Dice bags are spicy. These are huge dice bags, so you're getting your money's worth. And you get cool little embroidery designs on them. Oh,
nice.
Yeah. She's got really cool dice boxes like this right here. Yeah, Carnageutopia dice boxes. They hold dice very well. And I can't wait to get a hold of mine to show it off to you. She's got dice, which I call them dice pads.
Nice.
She got ornaments. Yeah, custom jewelry. Yeah, very crafty. Very good quality. Very awesome. And pretty soon, I believe there are going to be an interesting product in the house coming up.
Nice.
Yeah. Trying to look for it, actually. But like her dice bags, I think, are the biggest things you can see that she does the best on. Like her dice bags she sells the most of are pretty amazing. There's information to get a hold of her if you have questions. Anything she makes can be customized to what you want. Hell yeah. Check out the deals. Check out the deals. All right. Boop. And boop. Doop. So that was my shield. Business card holders with dice. Yeah, those are. I didn't know if you had those up yet. But yeah, just gonna do business card holders with dice. They look really nice. She showed them. Hello, El Duderino.
You ever see the Big Lebowski tour?
Yeah, that's right.
El Duderino, if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Nope, not yet. They're not up.
It's probably up there on my top favorite screen names. El Duderino.
El Duderino. Hell yeah.
We're missing somebody. Yeah, we're missing somebody.
Yeah, he said he would connect when he's done disconnecting from his machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're talking
So
about Daddios.
Yep. So you seeing them here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like he's disconnecting. He'll be on. He sent me a message when we started. So the topic of today is Magic the Gathering's best TCG ever.
I would argue that it's possibly the best game ever.
Well, we could argue that, but it's just one of the best TCGs ever because one, it's had a good full holding. Two, it has one of the most simple ways to get into the game, like the mechanics, basic mechanics, everything. But also, I don't want to shit talk. I don't want to shit talk Magic. We're so passionate about Magic because we love the game, and we love the game, and we know we might not agree with everything that the company behind it does, but we love the game enough to complain about the stuff.
True.
And really quick, because I want to be in theme, I want to get you to define the topic. The topic to be defined is how we want to discuss this conversation, because it's very obviously subjective and opinionated to say it's the best TCG ever, and that's our biased opinions if we think so. Like I said earlier, I've tried playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I've tried playing Pokemon. I've tried playing the Star Trek TCG. And there's a lot of unique mechanics, but a lot of them borrow stuff from this game in particular. Yeah, you look so happy there, El Duderino.
I'm smirking at the comments with the Big Lebowski when he's like getting pushed in the car and he's got the drink. He's like, "Hey man, I have a beverage." Like that's supposed to stop the guy from abducting him like violently. It's just hilarious.
I haven't seen that movie in a while, but I remember like I remember like one of the things that stood out to me is the way the commercial for the movies changed. Like I can't think of the dude's name. The guy who played with the bowling ball, weirdly like sexualized the bowling ball and everything in the bowling alley. I can't remember his name, but when he became a big actor, the commercial started highlighting him as one of the actors in the movie. When before he was just kind of like a side character.
I don't remember who played the bowling ball, but I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm always embarrassed. I'm always embarrassed of my mother-in-law when I take her to the store.
Oh yeah.
She'll touch my shoulder and go, "Oh yeah." It embarrasses her.
You're never too old to be embarrassed. That is for a fact. Oh, man. John Turturro. Yes. Time capsule on top of it. Whoop, whoop. Look at you.
Anyway, back to this topic. Magic the Gathering is the best TCG ever. I agree with that. However, they do stuff that makes me mad, but I do agree with it.
Right.
Because, you take, for example, you take Yu-Gi-Oh! You take Magic. Which one is harder to play?
Well, I know for sure Yu-Gi-Oh is more busted to play. I mean, you got 0 mana costing board wipes. Like Regeki. One of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards is just a freaking one-sided board wipe where you that costs nothing to play other than it being like a trap card. Like you play it face down, and at a certain time you flip it over and you destroy all your opponent's creatures. I'm like, this is broken. Like it's probably not the most broken card ever in the game. But
exactly. Magic is much easier to play than Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we need to quantify a little bit more. What classifies making it the best TCG?
Right.
Ease of access?
No, I think it's the amount of agency you have.
Yeah,
accessibility.
I agree there.
It's the amount of agency you have, the amount of decisions you can make, and the amount that those decisions can impact the outcome makes it a game where the more you work, the more you be rewarded. And I think that is where it excels beyond everything.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I really like that because, like, one of the things I was thinking about with Magic, like the base of the game, like the basics of the game, tap and land, knowing your instants and sorceries, what an enchantment does, what an artifact does, to your creatures, your basic combat step. You know, that flat around is so simple and easy to learn that the complicated stuff stacks up as you learn and you get better at it knowing that. Like, for example, the Planeswalker deck that Prime 406 Games sent me for my birthday. Complicated as hell deck to play. But if it wasn't because I knew the base knowledge of the game and how the game works of years of playing, because it's one of those decks where you want to, you're not just going to pick up as a new player, that it was very hard and struggling, but it let me see that there's still more ways to play the game and still play the game at the basic functional level.
Yep.
That was insane.
Not only that, the mechanics don't really change.
Right, because everything's added on top. It's always layers. And and for those who never played Magic the Gathering, the stack and layers, they're really there, and those are the things that you learn as you pick up. And that's one of the beautiful things is, like, the way the game is designed. A lot of the rule sets are mentally thought of, like you keep them in mental tabs. There's no piece of paper on the board. You don't have to follow all these layers on a piece of paper. As you play the game and get better at the game, the whole rule set and text box of every card and how things work is in your head, and you figure it out. And that's because it's supposed to be a big game in a little package. That's how it's designed. And I think it's grown, obviously, from its first rendition of being a big game in a little package to what it is today. Yeah.
But it's just so much easier to play Magic than anything else. That's just my own personal opinion.
I don't understand that statement.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to play Pokemon. It might be hard to play Pokemon at the highest level with all the combos and stuff, but like to just play Pokemon, I don't think it's any hard. I think it's probably easier. It's like more for kids.
I'm a Pokemon.
I don't understand what really easy. I don't know what you mean by easy. Is it you mean that it's easier to thrive in the meta or like survive in the meta? I'm not sure what easy means.
It's easier to catch on to.
James, if anyone doesn't think Magic the Gathering isn't awesome, I'll knock on your door with my cane and nap on your couch.
I mean, I played Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember Yu-Gi-Oh being like pretty easy to play. I don't think it had nearly the complexity of rules that Magic has.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh was, because I played Yu-Gi-Oh when it first came out, and then they changed it to where you could cast creature spells and have like 5 creatures on turn 1, 5 overpowering creatures on turn 1. And when they did that, I was like, forget it, I can't play this because there ain't no way I can get 5 creatures out on turn 1 and defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting killed like turn 1.
Right.
And I'm like, This game's
Like-
unplayable. How's
So
it
okay,
fun?
so really, what you're articulating is that it's not easier to play. It's that the meta is healthy.
Yeah.
It's easier to sit down and enjoy a game because the meta is healthier.
Right. I mean, you have a chance to bring more your creatures out. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3.
Mhm.
Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like turn 1, boom, you're dead.
Well, one thing I want to highlight here,
Well,
because-
I've seen that in standard.
Is that like Legacy, where instead of a game playing out over 3 or 4 turns in Modern, say, in Legacy, a game plays out over 1 or 2 turns often, and instead of each turn being important, it's each phase of a turn being important, and how you use your force of will and when you do it, and if you do it at the right spot when your opponent's about to come in with the infect creature or whatever, So is that what it is? Is it like that the format is a much shorter format where the turns are more important? I don't remember how Yu-Gi-Oh plays exactly. I don't think that you interacted in speed like that, right?
And
Wow.
Yu-Gi-Oh! It's hard to interact with since they changed the way they play the game. Because they brought these creatures in that you could cast them like 5 creatures on turn 1, and they was able to do that. I'm talking about playing these creatures for free.
right? That's what Yu-Gi-Oh is about.
And yeah, and since they done that, it's hard. That made the game pretty much hard to play.
There's a
Magic-
deck. There's a deck
Magic-
in Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a deck in Yu-Gi-Oh I got to play before the certain list was banned. It was called Foolish Burial, the name of the deck, because there was a card called Foolish Burial. And in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's like a weird star system that you kind of have to remember, and it's not too hard to remember if it's the main game you play, where there are certain star amounts of cards that you kind of play, like you follow by when you play cards. Like bigger cards, you have to have like a certain star amount to sacrifice certain creatures to play it. But with Yu-Gi-Oh, on the top of that weird, sounded more complicated than it really is thing. Yu-Gi-Oh is focused on breaking the rules of the game, like using cards, kind of like how you do with Magic when you draw extra cards and stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh is more about breaking the rules of the game, and this Foolish Burial deck would win turn 1 a lot of the time. You just play, because the way you play is you play these creatures, and you get a special summon a creature from your hand, then you get to do something to your graveyard, then you get creatures from your graveyard, and you basically build up this Mondo board state in turn 1 and get your attack phase and swing it. Magic can be broken in Legacy, but in a format where everything's broken, everything's not broken, as Andrew would say it. But like in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's the balance of a good deck and a bad deck is like really uneven.
Yep.
From my perspective of playing the game. Magic, you can have a bad deck and a good deck and still have a fun time, but the thing the thing that makes Magic so great is the evolving part of Magic doesn't change the way the game is, because even though Magic focuses on its rules and breaking the rules, because that's the main thing about card games, it's about breaking the rules and breaking the rules within the context of the cards. And Magic, I think, has a good balance in that in general, for like the certain metas. Because like even the most broken decks, like say, I know it's not a broken deck, but like Richie Dub's Great Hog deck, it's very powerful, but it fits in the rules and categories, and knowing the game, I can follow along and understand what he's playing and understand his rule set. Where in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not as interactive. I know there's like one counterspell in all of Yu-Gi-Oh. Now I could be wrong on that because I don't follow the cards anymore. But there was like one counterspell, and all it did was turn spell on someone. And then the control format is different. One thing that makes decks really good in Commander, or not Commander, Magic, is like in Yu-Gi-Oh, when you build a deck, you have to stick to a certain theme of a deck. Like there's this little symbol on the top right side that you kind of have to follow in a certain deck. And sometimes you can have two, sometimes you can have one. I was like, they're like elemental creature types or whatever the card type is. And in Magic, as long as it if it fits your color, you can put it any card you want from those colors in, no matter what set it's from, no matter what creature type it is, basically. Where in Standard, you can run 5 color decks and only have one 5 color card because it fits your deck. The customization in Magic is just incredibly amazing compared to other games. And I know that's a long trail there because I went from breaking the cards to explaining the cards. But like the control of Magic, like the control what you get, like Richie was saying, there's a lot of agency in the game. Like there's literally no wrong way to build a deck. Like technically. I mean, you can build a deck and not have a good deck if you don't know what you're doing, but there's no wrong way, meaning like there's no one telling you can't run this card, even if it's janky, or this card. You can still play, you can still learn from it. And I think that's what Timmy's love. Like me, like I'd love playing derpy combos just to try them out, just because I had the agency to do so.
I like playing sleeper cards.
Right. Sometimes I like playing super cards, and sometimes it's like being able to test out cards in a format you didn't know. Like I built a weird Turbo Fog deck that did all right, but it relied on a 3-card combo, and it basically just drew my deck out, and I lost the game. Hello, Cookie Dude.
Hey,
There he is.
Hello, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you all?
Doing pretty good.
So what are we talking about?
Magic Gathering is the best TCG ever.
Ever.
So we've mentioned that Magic is very accessible. Now, and I will agree with that. I've tried. The accessibility does have an age cap to it. The reading level is significantly increased, or is significantly higher than, let's say, the new game Lorcana or something like Pokemon. I was taking my daughter up to a Pokemon club where 4 to 9-year-olds are starting to play Pokemon. And unless you can read full sentences, you are not playing Magic. So the accessibility and the ease and the jank combos that you can, all of the loves that you have for Magic can translate into some of these other ones. But now allowing the stack interactions and the multitude of formats allows Magic the Gathering to find a bigger niche for more people. I found out that I don't like punching my friends in the face one-on-one. Bugs me. Let's tortoise. Let's sit down, play a one-on-one, standard, legacy, whatever it is. It's not as fun for me.
Really?
That's why I pulled out of Pokemon, one-on-one Pokemon, as much. I am very much a group hug player, or group hug-ish, kitchen hugs in Commander. I like to do things for you. Yeah, by all means.
I find it interesting that you prefer to play with multiplayer, because I find when I play multiplayer, I feel like I don't want to attack somebody. I don't want to feel like I'm picking on them, or I don't want them. So when it's just me and you, I'm attacking you. That's it. I got no other choice. So I like that more. I just find it interesting that you like it the other, and that's all I wanted to interject.
It for me. We can totally go blows to blows. I have a Tiamat deck. I have my Elves deck. But the deck I reach for the most, or the deck style I reach for the most, is to make you do you better. Right. So I'm always buffing. I'm a buffer. I'm playing. Let's play World of Warcraft. I will be that buff class player to make it easier for you guys to go off and do that one thing that you've wanted to do. Somebody last night was like, man, all I wanted to do is meld. And all I tried to do for that game is get them to melt. They played this deck 13 times and never did it.
So where's
one
Bob?
turn away.
What do I got a person to introduce you to? Have you met Bob yet? He's got this format called Commander Raids, and that sounds like it's right up your alley. You guys all work together against a boss monster. Instead of being player versus player, it's players versus a boss monster. But you play Magic with Commander
that's cool.
decks. Yeah. I think you would really like
Oh,
it.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Right. So really quick, we've kind of stepped over the line. Not bad, but it's time for this. Yeah. Like we've definitely like went over discussing the topic, like boom. I'm like, oh, we can't forget the segments. I worked hard on those, damn it.
Yeah. It's my favorite part of the show. Is
The topic is now well defined.
Yeah.
Well defined.
Well defined.
So there is so much more complexity. And my buddy told me the other day, he was just like, "Yo, you want to play another format of Magic? Go grab a booster pack, 3 of any lands, and play. Go grab a booster pack, 3 of all of the main colors of land, and then shuffle up and play."
Right.
And I'm like, that is just like the booster box, the booster pack game. That is so cool. I can just use whatever card, and that also now teaches you new cards, teaches you whatever you get, you can actually learn to play it immediately instead of just, oh, look at those sick 3 cards, and the rest of you go into the bulk. As a new player, that was so advantageous for me.
You know, the best part about new players, and I remember being that kind of new player, is you always, as a new player, you always find those stupid little things out everybody overlooks as a new player. Like people will find, like new players will find the stupid combo that works, just because they're curious to see how the cards interact. Or more defined players, like would be me right now, will overlook a stupid combo like that. Like for example, this combo I played Turbo Fog in dealt with Horizon Chimera, which said whenever you drew a card, you gain a life. And I played a Fathom Mage, who says whenever you draw a card, you put a +1 counter on it. Whenever a +1 counter is put on it, you draw a card. Then I had an aura that you put on Fathom Mage that said whenever you draw, whenever you gain a life, put a +1 counter on enchanted creature. So this 3-card cycle with Horizon Chimera getting me life every time I draw a card. Sunbond putting +1 counter on Fathom Mage. Fathom Mage drawing me a card every time +1 counter is put on her. I would infinitely draw out my deck. Well, draw it out most of the way. It's a May ability. But just new players have an insight, and I think new players have a good foot in the game when it comes to learning things. This.
Yep.
And
Me.
sometimes it takes time for a new player to learn how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always suggest Arena, because Arena, good teacher.
Yeah, Arena is a good teacher for getting into standard. Let's just say there's me and a specific steak sauce. A1 steak sauce. I don't know. There's a cleric druid heart. Yeah, druid ranger. All right.
Okay, so since there's now multiple comments about it, I main a ranger, a Drake Warden ranger that also is a Hexblade warlock, and oh my gosh, what else is Echo? Hexblade warlock, rogue. Yeah, I love my little D&D characters.
Oh, you play D&D?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Master D. You want to play a game? I'll run it.
We're actually we actually need to start up getting back into the middle of the game. We're in Ravnica, and I play 2 characters. Hold on. Cat's getting all over places.
Beating it.
I run a turtle of my main character who's trying to learn how to make portals, so he can do stuff. But he's a wizard. Then I have a what you call it? A little mouse character that's Demir in Ravnica, because we're in Ravnica, who's supposed to be all spy-like and everything, but he's more Rakdos, where he likes to do tricks and stuff. Well, not Rakdos, but he likes to do tricks. He likes to do like the stupid, simple magic tricks, and more than he is likes being stealthy.
Yeah, I've never played Magic. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons.
Ah.
So, I mean, it was around. No, I don't know. First I heard of Dungeons and Dragons was in the '80s, so I don't know when it actually started.
Oh.
But yeah, I never played it. I've always been interested in it, but there's nobody around me I can play with. You know, I guess I could play with myself, but that's not right.
You got Mom.
Yeah, she's not into this kind of stuff, you know. But yeah, if you guys would get an online game, I'd be interested in learning. You know, I don't know if you can play it online.
D&D, it just requires it requires a rule set, a basic knowledge of the game, a kitty cat, you know.
The kitty cat, I got that.
Yeah.
So I guess I could, you know, find online the basic rules, you know, and so there's one guy that runs the game. I know that, one person that controls everything, and then you got a dice that you roll, and that tells you where to move, which I don't understand.
No, it doesn't tell you where to move. You got free agency to move anywhere in the game, in the realm, because it's all basically, you can play D&D without a map or nothing. It's all in your brain, all in your head, in your imagination.
Okay.
The rule set, the dice rolling and rule sets are there to tell you what spells you can cast at what level and how successful they are. Like I have a level 3 fireball. I roll for that to see how effective it is. If it hits the target, it just tells me how powerful it's going to be or how powerful it's not going to be. You roll a natural 1, you're screwed. If you roll a natural 20, you're doing pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Anything, yeah. And there's D20s. There's people who play different systems, like different dice systems. But there's D10s, D12s for certain spell slots to give you different percentages. Like one of my favorite spells to cast is Magic Missile, because it guarantee hits, and you know, so
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, Magic the Gathering has a Magic Missile too. It does 1 damage if I remember correctly. It goes pew. You know, Magic the Gathering was designed originally, like in its first infancy, was designed to be a game that filled in between D&D games. Hello.
oh,
Welcome back.
so the Magic is like a spin-off of Dungeons and Dragons.
Kind of. It was
Similar
designed
fantasy.
using Dungeons and Dragons in mind, but it was supposed to be like an in-between game, because sometimes setting up a game take a while, and you know the dungeon master did most of the work setting up the game, because they're the ones who know how the game's going to be played, and people around the table wanted to do something to fill in the times. So Richard Garfield and his friends started designing this little game, which evolved later into what it is, where they just started filling up time during the game and whatnot. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So it's just So it's not a spin-off. It's just they started it to take up time, like you said.
Yeah.
Until they're ready, till the Dungeon Drag Master was ready to go. So it must take a long time to set up Dungeons and Dragons.
It can be, varying how ready you are, you know, because like some people like to get intricate maps and stuff set up, like for the campaign that's gonna be played that day. There's like figurines people use nowadays. You know, there's people who are going like you earn points a lot, like during the gameplay. You earn points, and at certain point levels, you level up. So people will be leveling up their character while like either behind the scenes, but usually people like to wait so they can ask the DM certain things, certain questions, because they're trying to fit in the theme of the game and the rule base of the game of what the DM's doing. So some people will just do that during the setup phase while things are going. So there's a lot.
Yeah.
It usually takes me about an hour of prep work, an hour to 2 hours a week prep work for the 3 to 5 hour game that we play.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time to start a game.
Well, it varies. Like it varies. It depends on how big the campaign is. One shots usually go faster. Games like we play that are that are supposed to be weekly and continuous sometimes take longer because you're always mapping out what's going to happen. The DM is.
Okay. Well, I know I
Have a
took you off
good
the
night,
sub-
Time Capsule. Love you back.
I took you off your topic. I'm sorry. I just I
Of
was
course
just
you
curious
would.
about
You just
that.
don't think Magic the Gathering is all that amazing. You just want to take us everywhere and make us feel bad.
Hey, get on the bus.
Salmon, you're muted, bud.
At least we're on the same parent company. It's all Wizards of the Coast, man.
Yeah, it is Wizards of the Coast.
Wizards of the Coast.
Wizards of the Coast. Yeah.
Boo. No.
Boo, yeah.
Wizards one thing I want to highlight is Magic the Gathering is the best TCG ever in my eyes, right? Wizards of the Coast ain't the best company ever. No.
No.
Wizards of the Coast isn't even like a terrible company. I have a feeling it's more Hasbro. That's the problem.
Right, but what I'm saying is like we don't have to agree with everything Wizards does to agree that we love the game of Magic. You know, sure, like some people will like Magic and not like it as much, but I think all together, like with the fan base and the continuous growth of Magic the Gathering and the amount of time we like to try to play the game, like the more the investment we put in the game, like time, money, you know, things we get into evolving the deck. I mean, look at Richie's cool Grid Talking Monster deck, right? It's a cool deck. He planned that deck out. He searched for certain cards for that deck, certain combos and things. He took his time to build that deck and a lot of effort.
2 years.
You know?
I built that deck over. I'm still
What?
building it. I'm still building it. I've
Right.
been working on it for 2 years already.
Right, and there's some decks I'm still building. I'm just bringing up your deck because you got the most high-powered play because it's so synergistic. Like, it's super synergy. And even when you play the Pillow Fort style where you don't blow up our lands, which I appreciate 100%.
Blow up your land, draw a card. Play a land from my graveyard. Blow up your land, draw a card. Play a land from my graveyard. Blow up your land, draw a card. The deck's sweet. I love that deck.
Wait, so hold on. You are Rich Dubs in chat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, so yeah, sorry. I like the last 2 weeks that I've been on here. That's you've been on here. I've been putting silly names, but yeah, I'm just Richie.
Oh, makes it properly.
Yeah, Richie Dubs in the house.
Oh, chat, I should where's my orange hat? That would have sold it for you.
Right.
Then I would have looked like the picture, you know. Like that
Yeah, that was a logo that I designed for Richie, not intentionally designing a logo for him. He asked me for a banner one day, and I just like, hey, let's put a little Richie face here. And Richie's like, oh my god, I love Mini Me.
awesome.
Mini me.
I'm animated, baby.
Yeah.
Evil.
My gang
Yes.
group is going to start playing D&D one Saturday a month and Gloomhaven on another Saturday each month. Nice. How dare you enjoy yourself, James? You're supposed to be stuck to my channel only and all the time. You know. You can't have fun outside of YouTube. I'm telling. No, I'm kidding.
I just find Magic easier to catch on to than all these other ones. I mean,
well, that's
I used to play.
It might just speak to you, Hillbilly. You know, Magic might just speak to you.
Yeah, Magic. Like different card games speak to different people because I know people who are really into Pokemon, right? And they can't catch on to Magic as well as they know Pokemon because they're so used to Pokemon how it runs. Same with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh players I know say that Magic's too complicated. That's why it caught me off guard for you to say that it was easier, and I didn't really understand what you meant. Because there's a difference between knowing the rules and being able to execute the rules of the game, and understanding the high level combo plays of the meta. That those are totally different things.
Right. Okay, so
I'm an ex Yu-Gi-Oh player. So it was easier for me to catch on. Yep. It was easier for me to catch on to Magic.
Like I know, like I've known people who've played both Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, and people who've converted from Yu-Gi-Oh to Magic, especially when I was in Job Corps. And the rule sets for Magic were easier for them to catch on to, no matter how complicated the game gets. I've tried playing Yu-Gi-Oh twice, and I've watched many games of Yu-Gi-Oh in person, not on YouTube, but in person. So I actually got to ask questions. And the one thing that separates Yu-Gi-Oh from Magic when it comes to the complications is the faculty of what you're using for mana. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't use mana, so a lot of things are broken in that spectrum. So nice thing is you only have to remember text on cards and how it works, even though like the text on cards are like extremely small. And with Magic, the reason why I like Magic is with the land system. Like your opponents can kind of guess what you have in your hand with what open lands you have and stuff, but it kind of calculates your plays to knowing what land you have to what's in your hand and what you might draw. It's definitely a different system, but everything I'm saying is a biasness.
Well, for me, I mean, understanding the cards is really hard because I mean it's like a spell. Every card. I mean, this it tells you what the card does, which is easy enough to read, but understanding what the card actually says. I mean, I could read the card. I'm not illiterate, but understanding exactly what that card does. I mean, it's hard for me.
Yeah, because it says target creature gains trample, but that doesn't really mean anything to you without context.
Right.
You need the greater context of what the words mean and how they interact with the other words.
Oh yeah.
And here, nice and easy. This is an easy card to understand. Green goes with green. I need 3 green and 1 green and 2 of any color to be able to punch you for 30. If you can read, you can play the additional text. If you can't read, just punch him in the face. Pokemon makes it super easy. And Magic, there is a level of Magic that is at this level of easy, which is totally awesome, but it's a little less common.
All right. Really quick, we're past halftime of the show, and I usually try to get another spiel for Cards Utopia, where you can get sweet dice magic bags, dice boxes, sweet dice animals, dice pets, sweet ornaments, sweet swag, high quality homemade good stuff that is just amazing. Go check her out at cardsutopia.com. That's right.
Nice.
cardsutopia.com.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, I didn't mean to interject there.
No, perfect time.
Yeah, you did.
I have another point I'd like to bring up.
So it makes it allowed. Magic does have its entry level, but Magic will go from very basic to the most complicated 27-minute solitaire game playing on your board, especially that Planeswalker deck that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just it gets really complicated. I've never had to write out things that I have to do in a turn in a game of Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never really understood. What's that? Gwent was pretty fun for a little bit, but I lost track of it. I've never really played any of the other TCGs, but again, you play one, you can get to the other ones.
Right.
Right. I mean, you're right. I mean, it takes time, and then you learn from your mistakes, and you just go on. But yeah. So so green with green, but sometimes you can do black with green and white, right? But that you have to do what the card says. I know Derek showed me the little symbols up top. The one means land, and a little tree, and it's like I really don't remember, but it's like a raindrop or something that means water, right?
The mana symbols, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
mask.
They're color coded and also symbol coded.
All right, really quick, Carnes Utopia wanted me to show you this card holder she's selling with dice. Yeah, is there information if you want to get a hold of her? Yeah, look at that. Discord. Yep, good ways. This looks nice. I mean, I think it's a unique thing where you can buy a card holder for your business cards. But she's also throwing a full set of dice in here. It looks like a full D&D set. That's pretty neat. All
That's
right.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Didn't mean to interject, but
So I have another point I'd like to bring up about what makes Magic the best TCG.
yeah.
So you were talking about with lands before, like just the resource system of Magic, the fact that you can not draw a land for 5 turns and lose, or that your opponent can do the same, that can happen, means that nobody wins every game of Magic, and that if you play your best, you're still going to lose 40% of games. So the variance of Magic is something that I think is a really is an interesting thing that you can kind of like almost have like this non-game or whatever, but like that's kind of like this accepted thing.
Right.
We try to mitigate it with mulligans, but I think that the fact that the variance of Magic is a part of what makes it a very the best game, the best TCG for sure.
I think mana-based games all have that issue. And yes, you're right. The mulligan system is to help help out with that issue. Also, the cards that call draw. So, like Pokemon has the same energy system, similar energy system to Magic. It's not on cast; it's on punch more. But if you don't draw a land, draw some energy, you're still not punching, you're still not swinging, you're still not doing anything, and you could just lose out the game that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think resource systems in games like this are important to being integral for the fun of the game and keeping things in check. And also, I think a combat system that's good is important for a game that's checked. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, if I remember correctly, you can't attack your opponents without attacking their creatures first. Am I wrong there?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm asking Hillbilly.
What?
Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can't attack your opponents until you get rid of their creatures first, right?
Right.
All right, there you go. Well, yeah, see,
like Magic,
so,
you're kind of like Magic. You got your creatures out, and you can protect your life points with your creatures. You know how Magic, your creatures can block your opponent from attacking you. Same thing in Yu-Gi-Oh.
right. In Yu-Gi-Oh, you can attack creature with creature. Like you use your creature to attack their creature. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just make sure I remember. It's been a while. But like in Magic, I think even though you can't directly attack a creature without a spell saying to, I think the flexibility of the game, the combat system is amazing.
Yep.
Hmm.
But you can,
Really?
but in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can use your creature to protect your life, or you can attack their creature and destroy their creature.
All right.
Yeah, you guys
I just
talking
read this in
Chinese to
chat.
me.
Is this new or was this before you said anything, Eldorino?
Who, me?
No, Eldorino.
What?
Was this thing in private chat? Was saying you have another point?
No, that was the one I made already.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're good. James Willis says he challenges Dubs to a game of Break the Ice.
I don't know, man. I could be mean with that little hammer.
Oh man, there's so many games.
Is that the right game? Am I thinking of the right game?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, no. So there's a lot. There's a lot that's amazing about Magic the Gathering, and think about the, like, you know, one thing I want to bring up about Magic the Gathering so great is the fact that you can make the game your own. I think that it has a lot of perfected formats that need to be like perfected as in the way they work, not like modern is perfect the way it is, even though the meta is not always the perfect, but the format's perfect. You know, like Legacy's perfect the way it is, Commander's perfect the way it is, Standard's perfect the way it is, even though the meta changes. Like the meta, you know, the amount of cards that come in, the format is perfect, not the game completely. And I think there's still room to grow. I just think you know there's a lot of a shit talking Magic the Gathering because not because of the game we love, but because the company behind it is just kind of being weird with the game and not making the best decisions that we agree with.
Right.
You know, and I want to bring up because I want to do something more positive today. Something that wasn't just smack talking Wizards of the Coast or our ideas on them or poking at the community, you know, trying to point out, you know, and I'm not purposely pointing at you, Billy, but like, you know, poking at the community and saying, hey, you love the game, quit shit talking it the way you are, you know, because, you know, a lot of two-facedness we've talked about. No, you know, we all love the game. The game should be the game in the ways we can. Like we need to come up with a day where Magic days and like one day of the year where everybody has to stop everything to do, call into work, call in sick, and play Magic all at once.
Wow. Well, that's easy for me.
Right. Kidding, but you know, one day Magic the Gathering will have a day. Like they probably have there is a Magic Day of some sort, but I'm saying there'll probably be a day to celebrate Magic the Gathering coming soon because it's been around for over 30 years.
Yep.
It's pretty insane. It's like 31 years old now or turning 31 next year. I don't know. All right. We got a few minutes left, so going to get to the open forum so we can talk smack about anything we want. Like, Dub, your beard's too long.
Yeah, no. I think I'm gonna shave everything. I'm gonna go bald. I'm gonna be 40. It's a midlife crisis.
I ain't shaving. I'm 48. I ain't shaving nothing.
I don't remember 40, but I'm sure I had a good time.
You were working for Coca-Cola back then.
Yeah, I sure was.
Yeah.
But I remember my 30s because I know I had a good time.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
you know what Coca-Cola is good for?
a lot of things.
Yep. It's a good cleaning agent, and it'll even clean.
That's right.
It'll even clean your cables on your car battery.
That's right. It's the soda in there.
Yep.
The acid.
Yeah.
I did a girl's car like that one day, and she looked at me like, "Why are you wasting that Coca-Cola for?" I said, "You'll see." And then it cleaned her battery cables, and her car started then because it wouldn't start until
Hey, I got to sign off. My brother's here. So,
Oh, Bill's there.
Mike,
Mike.
your
Oh,
Uncle
Mike.
Mike.
So say
Yeah,
hi to Uncle Mike. For
yeah,
me.
he's coming to help me work on my deck.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So, anyway, nice chatting you guys. So, I'll see you tomorrow if you're on.
All right.
If not, alrighty.
Alrighty.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace out, Daddy-O's.
All right. Love ya.
Yeah. Boom. There you go. There we go. Look at
I used to use Coca-Cola to clean everything.
There he is.
Yeah, he worked for Coca-Cola for many years, which is a whole different topic. Because man, that's a topic I don't want to get down to because there's a lot of heated debate in that industry.
Excuse me there.
Yeah, but so how you guys doing? How you doing, El Dorino?
Good. I got a new knife. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I have something like that, but that doesn't look so combat-y.
That's a nice looking K bar.
It's a Wartech.
Is that
It's actually a
actual
bayonet.
K bar or?
No, it's a Wartech makes it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I couldn't resist.
Oh no, I
would've
like.
too.
I love knives. Like
Me
I
too.
love knives.
Yeah, I love
like
ever since I was
I used to have a bunch of knives. I had to downsize. Yeah.
I've lost a lot of knives
We have
over
our
the years. I used to have some real nice ones.
Mhm.
I do have a
Wait.
K bar somewhere.
That's pretty. Yeah, like this is the K bar, the one with the glass breaker on the bottom. That's the kind of knife I
K
have.
bar
It has
looks
the-
very similar to the without the bayonets, and most likely, most of the time, it's not without the serrations.
Yeah, let him know.
All right. How you doing, Hillbilly?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Mhm. You having Yu-Gi-Oh withdrawals?
No.
I
Definitely not.
I learned how to play Yu-Gi-Oh because my cousin was like 10 and he got into Yu-Gi-Oh and he had 3 older brothers and I used to play Magic with his older brothers and nobody would play Yu-Gi-Oh with the kids. So I went and bought some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then once I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, of course, all of his brothers started playing Yu-Gi-Oh and then we all started playing Yu-Gi-Oh for like a year. So for like a year, I was like a dedicated Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Nice. That's more dedication than I put in the game.
Yeah, but I feel like they changed Yu-Gi-Oh game so much to where I just said the heck with it.
Yeah, the only reason why I tried to get into Yu-Gi-Oh and playing Yu-Gi-Oh is because the Foolish Burial deck was basically a budget version of Dredge in Magic the Gathering. Like it was the same kind of strategy, but it was Yu-Gi-Oh. Because Dredge was expensive to turn 0 win. That's why I tried getting into it. And I say budget because it didn't cost a few $100s for the deck. Yeah. What's up, Bella?
Started playing Pokemon. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. About to go get a water storage tank. We started playing Pokemon with my daughter, and then my buddy was just like, "Hey, you should play Magic with us too." And then I saw Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who get announced. Lord of the Rings was about to release, and Doctor Who got announced, and I went.
Oh.
So I'm like super stoked about what's about to drop. I've already got all of the decks built in Moxfield so I can print them off in like 20 minutes once I'm done. Actually, no, later on tonight once I'm done moving and all the work I got to do today. I'm gonna try that timey-wimey new Plains Chase deck. We've been playing a lot of Plains Chase recently. It's been fun.
Nice.
Timey-wimey, from what I hear, is the best-selling deck from Doctor Who. It's hard to find.
What I want to do is I want to build a deck. Oh yeah, 100%.
The pre-order, the pre-orders for it is already.
I want to build a Rules Zero deck. Yeah, long gone. I saw a video that the guy from EDH Rec was doing his Babala saga, doing a new Babala saga every time he has to recast her. And I wanted to do that with the doctors. Start with the lowest doctor they have and work my way up all the way up to the 13th doctor, if possible, in order. That'd be a cool, fun deck to play. I know it's illegal, but a fun concept deck.
Well, you're gonna need some top deck control so you can get try to top deck control and tutors so you can get the doctors in order legally.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds fun.
Yeah.
And investable collectibles. Not a Doctor Who fan. Hard pass. Yeah, you're either a Doctor Who fan or you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you enjoy all the crossover IPs. I'm not a crossover IP fan, personally. I haven't really liked any of them.
I'm not a Doctor Who fan either, but so it does seem interesting.
Like I'm not a super hardcore fan of the crossover idea, but they are doing a Jurassic Park set, so I'm inclined to like Jurassic Park set.
Not to yuck anybody's yum. If you enjoy it, that's great for you. It's just not. It doesn't do anything for me. It's
well, no, like the Transformers thing. I thought that was a weird thing they did, and I collected all the Transformers I can get. With Jurassic Park, I'm trying to get all the dinosaur things I can get from there. But like as weird as it feels to me, it's still part of the game in one way. And if it's something of interest to me, I think I'll try to build it, because I already have a deck that I call my Jurassic Park deck. I mean, what's worse going to happen? I'm going to get stuff to help out the deck that's in theme, it's going to be awesome for me. Yeah. You're not yucking anybody's yum at all. You're right. You have a right to your opinion. Damn it. Take it.
This is almost the fact that they have the universes beyond the 30,000 different formats in this one game allows it to fit everybody's yum some way.
Yeah. Now you'll have Optimus Prime crewing the TARDIS.
That's what. Yeah, and that's what probably makes that this game is one of the best games in this format in TCGs.
Right. Optimus Prime crews the TARDIS. Then you have Gandalf stopping the TARDIS. You shall not pass. You cannot pass. I don't know. Anyways, it is the time where we gotta log off, have fun. Yeah, look, Richie's like, we're gonna off finally? Nope.
No, I got a text message. I was just replying to it.
All right. I want to thank everybody in chat for showing up. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you for chilling out with us. I hope the stream was good enough today. We kind of wandered off with D&D a bit, but we love you. You've been amazing. And remember to...
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for Magic the